Your conflict will be noted for the record.
To the bill?
To the bill.
Colleagues, I've been growing up on a farm. I worked very hard, obviously, for the family business. And you all know my father, and so you know that the way he treated employees was that they weren't employees, they were family. I remember growing up with people of different backgrounds, different creeds, different races, being invited to our house for Thanksgiving dinner because they didn't have any place to go. In my life, I cannot think of a time when we did not have employees that would bring up issues of religion or politics or their values to discuss on the job. When I became an employee after I graduated from college, outside of the family business, outside of the farm, then I became an employee, and I recognized that what happened to my employers was important to me. Meaning the free flow of communication. There is very few relationships that are so important in your daily life than your relationship between you and your employer, between you and the people who make your business possible, your employees. This relationship is important because that's where business owners, without those people to work in your employment, your business is not successful. And as an employee, without your employer, you don't have a job. And the reason why this particular minority report is so very important is because I believe it's a sacred relationship between employers and employees, and that line of communication always stay open. And that we as a state take the policy that relationship is sacred and that people should be able to communicate, because there is nothing more fearful, especially in this type of economy, than the idea of losing one's job or being forced to shut down your business and watch your family and your friends lose their job because you can no longer have them on payroll. I know that people who are not employers have no idea of the emotional relationship you have with your employees as a small business owner and as a family business owner. I know you don't understand how responsible you feel as an employer to your employees who make your business successful. But I'll tell you that when people villainize employers and they're talking about the fact that somehow employers don't care, I will tell you this: no business I've ever worked in, none, no business I've ever owned, no business I've ever worked for, no business I've ever been involved with, did I feel like the employer and the employee didn't care about each other. Poll after poll after poll shows that employees are they trust their employer to give them accurate information about what's happening in the arena of politics that affect their business. Poll after poll show employers care what their employees think, and they want that communication open. And to think that we're going to vote on a measure that the minority report and the majority report are so far apart should show you the difference in perspective. I've served on both sides. I've been an employee and I've been an employer. And I will tell you what, anybody who thinks that employers are evil or employees are evil does not understand that relationship. The fact is that those two interests are the same. They care about each other. They work together. It is the preservation of that relationship that makes small and family business work in the state of Oregon. And to think that while we're laying off thousands of people around this state, that what we care about is whether or not unions can organize or whatever else, why people are being laid off, because let's face it, that's what the majority report's about. I say we stand strong on the premise that the relationship between Oregonians, that the open dialogue, the open free speech for Oregonians is sacred. And it's even more sacred when you talk about the fact that all of us are dependent on each other to make successful businesses work in the state of Oregon. And I urge you to support the minority report. Thank you, Mr. President.